talk about, let's see here, what next story do I want to talk about? Let's talk about, what do you want to talk about? He doesn't know. He just collects a check and does what I say. That's what my producer does. All right. How homeowners are fighting banks. Okay. How are they fighting banks? The homeowners. They're basically putting the gloves on and they're fighting with them every single day. Some of them are pulling their money out of the big banks, out of Chase Bank, out of Bank of America, and they're putting it in credit unions. Some of them are getting lawyers and filing lawsuits, and there is some class actions going across the country, but a lot of people aren't fighting. I think one of the best ways that people are fighting banks right now is just saying, screw you. I'm walking away. I'm not going to be part of your system no more. I'm not going to be part of this debt trap of home ownership. I'm not going to be part of this debt trap of having credit cards and being a slave, to debt, being a slave to my FICO score. A lot of people, are getting wiped out right now, and they did everything that's right. And, they had the job, they went to college, they put their money in their 401k, they put 10% down, 15% down, 5%. Even if you got a 100% loan, you did it right as far as what was being marketed out there. And a lot of you are getting wiped out, and you're looking at ways to save your home. And really, the only way to fight is to every day be on top of this and fax and call and get on top of it. Don't get caught up in all these debt ratios and what the HAMP is doing and the making home affordable, because these lenders and these servicers, they have contracts with the lenders and the investors who they service these mortgages for. All right? And the Making Home Affordable program is voluntary. It's just a voluntary program, with all these bells and whistles, that the government said, hey guys, I want you guys to do this, and here's some guidelines for you to go by. And all the servicers, they go in and they go, okay, Mr. Government, we're going to go ahead and go by that. But it's voluntary, right? And the government goes, yeah, it's voluntary. You guys don't have to do it, but you have to agree to it. But you don't have to do it, but you have to agree to it and sign it. What the fuck? What is that? What sense does that make? It doesn't really mean anything, because that means they could do still whatever they want to do. And they're going to. But what you guys need to understand is that your mortgage is governed by what is called a pooling and servicing agreement, or they call it a PSA. And there's loss mitigation clauses in these pooling and servicing agreements that override the government, that override Mo and LoanSafe and what you feel. All right? And it's supposed to govern what the mortgage servicer does in relation to your loan. If you have a loan and you're a homeowner watching me, if you're not, you're probably tuning out. Okay? So a loan that is being serviced by a mortgage servicer has this loss mitigation clause that's governed by a pooling and servicing agreement. Okay? And it states and dictates by law, and it's a contract, what they're going to do. It got really dark in here. The clouds went over, huh? Should we turn on this light, or is it okay? So I'm like in the dark room, Some days my mouth doesn't go with my. Oh, damn. We're gonna get a light. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I was going on about pooling and servicing agreements. They don't have to abide by the government. They have to abide by what these pooling and servicing agreements say they have to do. Unfortunately, you're probably never going to find what's in them, but the general clause that is in 96% of the pooling and servicing agreements. Turn on the light, please. Just something. Turn on this light behind me and go around. Sorry about that, guys. So the pooling and servicing agreements, they have to abide by these contracts, but they're not really doing it, is what I'm getting at. And I think that's where the legal recourse is. But as a homeowner, you're not the one being screwed. It's actually the investors, the trust and the school systems and stuff that have money and invested are in these mortgages. They're getting screwed because they're not modifying these mortgages to help you guys. And they're not abiding by those contracts. But you have no legal recourse there. What you can do is do what everybody else is doing that's getting a modification. There is no secret. There is no special, HAMP, Making Home Affordable, FHA Secure, Project Lifeline. There's nothing. The only thing that is going to do it is that you have a job, okay? You've got income coming in. You can afford your home. just not your loan. You need a little help, and you're going to fight until the end. That's it. And you got to fight every day. And you got to demand that you get help. Don't get caught up in the making home affordable debt-to-income ratios. I've talked to the banks. I've talked to the head wigs, the big CEO, not the CEOs, they won't talk to me, but I've talked to some of the executives that run these loss mitigation departments or the home loan companies, for Bank of America to Citi, and they tell me what's going on, and they tell me that what percentages they will take. And they'll go up to 46, 50% in some cases. So don't be caught. Just if you're below 50% debt to income ratio, still fight for that modification. And you got to fight, and you got to fight. And if you can't fight yourself, you got to get help from like a NACA, the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, or Neighborhood Works, 995 HOPE. And then you can't rely on them because they're busy. And they have millions of people that they're helping too. It's just that the crisis is just so large that if this is the way it is, and it's not going to get any better. The servicers aren't going to hire more people. If they wanted to help you all, they would have hired a lot of more people a long time ago. They don't make money by helping you guys. Loan modifications are not good for the economy. They're not. And of course your senators and officials or whatever are going to say one thing, as far as, hey, we want to help you and we believe in this, but deep down they know the real truth of what needs to happen for the U.S. economy to recover. And it's not to help keep people in their homes, even though I want that. I want it more than anything. I want people to save their homes. I hate all this misery that's happening, but I want you guys to know why it's happening, okay? Because they want to get to the bottom as quick as possible. And the only way you're not going to get pulled down and get slaughtered or go down with the Titanic is you fight and you claw on deck and you bail that water out every day. That's the only way. There's no secret. No making home affordable. No FHA secure. Nothing. Nothing's going to do it. And you just got to keep fighting. And fighters are the ones that are going to make it.